Okay. You know, honestly, for what it's worth, I think it is more likely that we get FE4 remake news than we do Silksong. I think Silksong's a myth. I think Metroid 4 is a myth. But like... Look, my 2 cents on the FE4 remake is that, like... At this point, they wouldn't have made Sigurd so prominent in Engage if they weren't trying to endear Western audiences. I don't think Heroes would go out of their way to try and, like, shore up some naming discrepancies between characters if there wasn't a reason to do so, right? You're coping for a Monster Hunter 4 U-port? Yeah, well, you're gonna have to cope forever. That's, Monster Hunter, I don't think is the sort of game that will... Its gameplay loop is similar enough game to game that I don't think remaking previous titles, outside of putting them from handheld to console, is really something that they'll ever do. Alright, we got... Yep, okay. Go ahead and do this. And we're gonna hide Twitch alerts. Great. We are ready to go whenever. Sorta, kinda. I am so tired. But that's fine. I think I have a half-drunk energy drink on my side table. I do. Monster Hunter 3U. Look, we can shake hands on this. I hope Logi makes it into Wilds. I miss Lagiacrus. Unfortunately, it'll probably be Ivory, since I don't think we're ever getting underwater combat back. But that's fine. Give me Logi, give me Gobul. I'll be happy. That's all I need. Yeah, push power through the pain. Just drink a lot of liquids and hope your body kind of copes with it. Are we... Okay, there we go. Landlock Sedeus. Alright. Let me know if volume's okay for you, alright? I can adjust it on your end fairly easily. Alright, Mario title. Wait, Mario and Luigi remake? They got the black eyes from the RP.
Luigi! Yeah.
Wait. This seems new. I don't recognize this. Oh my god, the series isn't dead. Oh, the property's not dead. Holy shit. Oh, this looks so cool. This looks so good. Oh man, Nintendo's animation on the Mario series has been putting in the brothership. I can't. This isn't a remake. It's not Brotherhood. Brothership.
Hello, everyone.
It's just another Mario game. It is, but I have very fond memories of the Mario and Luigi series. Superstar Saga is one of my favorite games of all time. I played it so often as a child.
In the Mario and Luigi series in almost 9 years. Mario and Luigi Brothership. Please look forward to a seafaring adventure that unfolds across mysterious islands, as well as evolved Bros moves with Mario and Luigi. Okay, let's see the first batch of headlines.
Bring the championships home. Or
Wait
on
a
the
second.
go.
This was part.
The thrill of the Nintendo World
I think this
Championships
was
is heading
part
to
of
the
a.
Nintendo Switch
Was
system.
this part of the leak that had FE4?
Take on over 150
Was it even a leak that had
speedrunning
FE4?
challenges from across 13 NES games.
sort of.
From lightning fast beats to action-packed battles.
I remember this being leaked in some regard early.
With each challenge and
Oh, this was just
perfect your
announced?
timing.
Okay.
Then give
I thought
your
it was
best
leaked.
shot and aim for the top of the online leaderboards. You can also try more difficult.
I mean, look, to be
lightning challenges.
perfectly honest, the FE4 leaks are basically the FE4 Copium.
In one go,
I don't think FE4 really ever had leaks. It's more of like, yeah, no, some dude whose uncle works in intelligent systems says that it's totally going to be at this direct, guys. This time for sure.
Put your skills to the test in survival mode, where you'll race against ghost data of players worldwide. After each round, half of the players will be eliminated. You've only got one shot to survive. Will you be the last one standing?
If you're doing bingo, I wanted to do bingo. I'm sorry, I didn't have enough time.
July 18th.
Look, I made it before the actual stream started, all right? Also, we are snoozing the shit out of you guys.
Other bonus items is also available for pre-order. The final battle of Fairy Tail.
Oh, please don't.
Relive the climactic Alvarez Empire arc from the hit anime Fairy Tail in this action RPG. Set in the vast kingdom of Fiore, Team Natsu prepares to finish their fight.
I
Engage in real-time
do not know anything about Fairy Tail other than I think it's got a pretty okay soundtrack. I don't know, it's a licensed anime game. They can be good. I don't really expect much, but I hope fans of the property get what they're looking for. It's Rave Master 2.0.
Fairy Tail 2.
Yeah, that's a really good way to describe the aesthetic.
Winter. Embark on a multi-dimensional journey. From Final Fantasy series creator
Oh, it's the not near looking pro tag. I think this used to be iOS only.
Comes the turn-based RPG Fantasian. The world is slowly being robbed of its civilization. To restore his memories, Leo must confront an evil entity threatening all mankind. Skills are the ticket to winning battles. Adjust a skill's trajectory to target multiple enemies at once.
Okay, that's
You can also
interesting,
send
I
enemies
guess.
you've
I don't know.
encountered to a separate dimension and fight them later.
It has pedigree behind
The
it.
more enemies there are,
I'm
the
not
more you
sure
can
if
wipe out in one shot.
the bowling RPG is enough to make me pick this up, but hey,
Let us save the world together.
it's a port from something. I believe this was on like the iOS store or something. It was locked onto like Apple Arcade, maybe.
Neo Dimension launches on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
I don't know, I'm glad it's out of like mobile hell.
Another sport is coming to Spoko Square.
Spoko Square.
Basketball is being added as a free update to the Nintendo Switch sports game. Dribble
Okay, sure.
and shoot. In 2-on-2 matches using
I don't know
motion
how
controls,
something that is effectively a sequel to one of the most popular Nintendo
try
games
out
ever made
challenge solo and score as many baskets as you can
somehow
within the
looks
time
like shovelware.
limit.
which is
Up to
weird, like, it
four
doesn't
players can
look-
also compete in 5-streak battles.
I don't know, you had a good thing going for Mies.
Play.
They
You
still
can team up
existed.
with players
Could have kept him.
worldwide in 2-on-2 online matches.
Hell, you could have used the Tears of the Kingdom, like the Mii converter system from that. I don't know.
This free update for Nintendo Switch Sports dunks its way onto Nintendo Switch this summer.
Okay, chat, on the off chance that an FE4 remake actually gets announced here, Ads Manager is going to throw a 3-minute ad. I'm just going to run the ad. I'm just going to run the ad now. Hopefully nothing cool happens. Look, I would not want a situation where it happened and you all got ambush spawned by, like, an unskippable ad that I couldn't delay any longer. Alright. Is this... Or this looks kind of Ori adjacent as far as how it plays. Memories in orbit.
It's an array of cartoon classics.
Skill issue should just tell people to sub. I mean, look, I would appreciate it. As it turns out, I got a lot of bills to pay, and it helps.
Friends can help in the brand new adventure, Mystery in Mana. Uncover hints and evidence scattered throughout the world. Then
Yeah,
use
hey,
the
hi, give me your
dashboard to
Bezos
crack
bucks.
each case. What big
I will
secret
put them to
lies
good
at the
use.
end? Start sleuthing because this free update launches on Nintendo
We'll go
Switch
to the
later
fund
today.
of me paying my rent.
Island adventures await.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Wasn't this
Customize your character.
a game from when I was a kid?
Hello Kitty,
Like,
Kuromi, and other familiar faces.
PS1
in this open
title,
world
maybe?
Adventure. Team up with your new pals to solve mysteries and restore Friendship Island when Hello Kitty Island Adventure launches as a timed console exclusive on the Nintendo Switch system next year.
Okay, well, I know too much about Sanrio properties now, so I know a few people that'll be happy for that.
Play as Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and more across 4 arcade-style sports. Unleash the full power of Acme across iconic levels
Wait.
in up to 4-player local co-op.
There's no... Oh, Super Mario Strikers, cool. Please tell me... There's no way that I remember that title name from South Park, of all things, right?
This fall.
What's up, Doc?
That's all, folks.
Maybe I'm remembering, like, Lego City Islands or whatever.
Emergency meeting. New crewmate and imposter roles are being added to Among Us. Alert others when eliminated as a noisemaker. Plant tracking devices on others as a tracker. Or turn invisible while taking out players as a phantom. Suss things out when this free update for Among Us sneaks
Okay,
onto
sure.
Nintendo Switch later today.
Great. If you're still getting value out of Among Us, good for you. I don't care for the title. As far as I'm concerned, Among Us is just a game that ends up being dominated by like 1 or 2 overbearing personalities, and everyone else just does chores waiting to die.
Must rise up against the oppressive Magus to stop his vicious reign of the underworld. Raise monsters and lead them into the fight against the Magus' army. Plant seeds, then cultivate, and harvest.
How is this a farm simulator? Hold up.
They can then be trained for battle.
Sure, whatever.
Give
I'm sure
commands
this
to your
title is
monsters
gonna be
and
like
exploit
formative for some kid out there.
action-packed combat. Merge all of the battle buddies in your party to call forth a giant fusion summon and wreak havoc on your foes.
Okay, so it's Fairy Tail, Harvest Moon, Pikmin, and also Rathalos is there.
Stop the Magus in Farmagia, launching on Nintendo.
Out of respect to the Fairy Tail artist, only knows how to draw 1 male and 1 female protagonist. Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country Returns, originally released on the Wii system, is barreling onto Nintendo Switch in HD. The villainous
Was this released on the Wii U or
has
something?
hypnotized the local wildlife.
I remember buying this on the Wii and being really disappointed that you had to fucking shake the Wiimote to roll.
Obstacles in
I
the way.
don't know if there was an alternative control scheme, but like, I never beat the game because of that.
And roll on through.
Didn't we already get this? I think we got a remake of Tropical Freeze,
But they're
the
no
sequel to
match for
this.
these top bananas. From Manic Minecarts.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean,
Flying rocket barrels.
accessibility is not a bad thing.
and even hitching a ride on Rambi.
Yeah, we got a
There are
Tropical
plenty of
Freeze remake. Okay.
transportation methods available.
I mean, I've heard really good things about Tropical Freeze. I never played it. I enjoyed what I played of this, despite the fact that you had to shake the Wiimotes to roll, and it was a huge pain in the
Levels are
ass.
in store, including the additional levels from the Nintendo 3DS version.
Oh, I didn't realize the 3DS version had extra ones. I feel like this is the sort of game where, like, you bundle Returns and Tropical Freeze together and just release it.
One of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong's jungle escapades returns in HD. Plenty of wild actions and antics.
Does this really need like an aside? I know it's Donkey Kong, but
Next, please take a look at this.
it's the remake of a game that's a prequel to a game that's already been remade. I have no idea. No, this isn't Zelda, I don't think. Ah, Dragon Quest. Okay. Here's the thing. I know very little about Dragon Quest, but I'm a slut for HD 2D. Like, mwah. Mwah, I love this aesthetic. Give me more of it. HD 2D remake. That's what we need.
To face the arch fiend.
Make every RPG just like this, and you'll appeal to me specifically.
Memorable encounters.
Need to make more HD 2D Fire Emblems. I would agree with that, except for the fact that the one absolutely super redeeming portion of Engage is its animation work, and I kind of want to see them push that further.
HD 2D.
Like, Engage is the closest we've gotten to 2D Fire Emblem animation, and I want to see them push it a little further. I think it works for Square Enix because modern Square Enix, thanks to its mobile department, has still kept up with, like, pixel art animation. So they have people on their team that, you know, are specialized in that sort of thing.
Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake.
Personally, I'm quite excited about this. I'm happy for you. Again, I've heard nothing but good things about Dragon Quest. It's just not a series that I've ever really played. I played Fortune Street, though, and that's basically the same thing. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, what? Oh! Damn, okay, they're remaking the first 3 games. That's actually pretty sick. That's really cool. So you can remake those 2 games together. Don't do it for FE4 and 5, or... Well, actually, you can maybe do it for 4 and 5. It might work. Not for 6 and 7. Because I'm just gonna assume that you're gonna... Like, got FE4's gameplay style for the better, because its gameplay style is bad. That's the big 3 from Dragon Quest, yeah? God, I wish I could affirm or deny this. I have no idea.
Thank you, Mr. Hori. We hope you're excited to play the entire Erdrick trilogy.
I'm really happy that more games of this style are being made. I really love the Octopath aesthetic. It is so my jam.
Let's have some fun, Co. Say hello to Jaws? Wait, He-Man?
That
Great Scott! Is that Marty McFly? The world of Funko is coming
That looks
to life
kind
in
of
this
awful.
action-adventure mashup for the ages. Play with more than 60
You know, I'm being too kind.
to
This...
explore locations based on over 20
Oh
iconic
man, this
movies,
looks real
TV
bad.
shows, and more. Use
I don't know
special
how you make a
skills
game based around
and
Funko Pops
gadgets to
appealing,
explore epic worlds,
but I don't
each
think
with
this is
their
it.
own unique puzzles, hidden areas, and familiar foes. Dinosaurs from Jurassic World and Cylons from Battlestar Galactica. They're certainly not.
This feels like a way less charming Lego game.
Funko Fusion pops onto Nintendo Switch September 13th.
As Merp, they get too much hate. I kind of disagree with that. I think they get an adequate amount of hate. I just think they're ugly. And like, if they're a collectible that's meant to be displayed, why would they look like that? Isn't the entire point for them to be aesthetically appealing?
Tricky traps and other
Is this
shenanigans.
Dark Moon
Luigi's
remake?
Mansion 2 HD launches on Nintendo Switch June 27th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Okay, well, at least you're not left waiting for a while.
Meet the quirky little Dempa Man. Find him, catch him, and lead him on a joyful RPG adventure.
Is Dark Moon Luigi's Mansion 2, or is Dark Moon its own thing?
Customize all sorts of outfits, decorate your island however you'd like, and more. Plus, up to 4 players in local co-op can team up.
I don't know
to
why,
catch
I kind of
special
thought that this
Dempa
was like a
Man. The new
Miitopia
Dempa Man is free
thing.
to play and launches as a timed exclusive
But it's
on
not.
Nintendo Switch July 22nd.
Okay, good for the 3 people who are excited about this one, I guess.
Strategize
Wait, holy
and
shit,
win
Metal Slug.
in this tower defense installment of the Metal Slug series. Take control of your
Yeah,
forces,
Metal
power-ups,
Slug.
and strongholds. Choose from over 300 units with different abilities, and build out your decks to win tactical tussles.
Wait,
You can also slug it out with other players in online battles.
is this like Metal Slug
Attack
Auto
Reloaded
Chess?
storms onto the Nintendo Switch system later today.
Okay.
Embark on an expedition of the damned in this eagerly awaited sequel to
I
the
mean,
gothic roguelike RPG.
it's
Board
still
your
pretty,
stagecoach
so
and
it's still
set
Metal
off
Slug.
across the decaying landscape to
I'm sure it'll be
prevent
okay.
apocalypse. Fight off nightmarish fiends.
Oh yeah, this has been on PC for, what, a year now?
And upgrade your abilities after each deadly run. Darkest Dungeon 2 launches on Nintendo Switch.
Well, I've heard
July
very
15th.
mixed reception about this game
Pre-orders
just because of how
begin later
differently it
today
played.
on Nintendo eShop. More classic titles are on the way.
Link to the Past 4
Play Link's
Swords?
classic 16-bit adventure and team up online to explore randomized dungeons in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
You know what?
4
This is
Swords.
a good game to bring to Switch Online. Hold up.
Experience
It was a
the
pain in the
remake of
ass to do
Samus's
this with
first
link
adventure
cables, so
in Metroid
I'm kind of
Zero
glad that
Mission.
this is now able to be done online wirelessly.
Plus, coming to the new Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch Online,
Mature 17 plus.
collection of games. Brave the dangerous lost land to stop the campaigns of various
Oh
schemes
man,
in Turok,
this is a
Dinosaur Hunter.
weird ass game. It's fun, but it's weird. Oh shit, Perfect Dark.
Infiltrate a corporation to end their alien conspiracy in Perfect Dark, now with online multiplayer. All 4 games will be
Okay,
available for
honestly,
Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack
that's a
members
pretty decent
later
selection.
Today.
I think all of those have reason to be on like an online multiplayer
Set
system.
sail to save the day.
No Sacred Stones. What, you didn't get the 3DS Ambassador Program version?
A young woman with the
Shame.
ability to
Shame you didn't early adopt a system with like 3 games.
I will take all of this girl.
join her on a journey to save her friend Ash.
Is this the Disgaea artist
In this
or
new
someone
installment of
else?
The Phantom Brave series. Take on tactical turn-based battles.
This
where
game
you
looks like it's
combine
running at like
phantoms you've befriended
15
with
frames per
objects
second.
in various ways. Combine
Oh, this game
phantoms with
does
certain
not look like
objects
it's gonna
maneuver
perform well on the Switch.
Combine with a cannon to attack.
It's
a
an
large
artistic
area.
choice, you know? No, I think it was
Blow
just
enemies
chugging.
around. Or combine with
It's a
Maruna
sequel to a
herself for
Disgaea
show-stopping
spin-off.
abilities
Okay.
That can turn the tide of battle.
All
Phantom
right.
Brave, the
Well,
lost hero.
this
launches
is
on
news to
Nintendo
me.
Switch next year. This one's gonna take you for a ride. 7 arcade games featuring Marvel and Capcom characters are fighting their way onto Nintendo Switch as one collection.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collections.
X-Men versus Street Fighter. Duke it out in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes. Take down the Kingpin in the beat-em-up.
I don't know if it's gonna have online or if that online will have rollback. So.
Hit up training mode to polish your fighting skills and combos.
Oh damn. Okay, hold up.
Online mode to challenge rivals around the world. Or play co-op in The Punisher. You can also cross over to the museum to view artwork.
God, I got a question for you. Are things like artwork, like concept art, key art, sound tests, are those good additions for a remake? I think they are. A friend of mine thinks it's kind of just like lazy padding. I like it. I like these little behind the scenes things. Yeah, more Mario Party! Fuck yeah!
The series takes place on an enormous island resort. Get ready to jump into the biggest selection of Mario Party.
Okay, please be an actual game.
Super Mario Party Jamboree. First, let's see some.
Just have normal fucking boards, please.
The most stars. Take the escalators to travel between floors in Rainbow Galleria. Use in-game coins to get a star at half price when they're on flash sale. But
oh wait,
fast.
Ninja? That's a new character.
And stay on track in Roll'em Raceway. With the new Turbo Dice item, you can move up to 40 spaces with a lucky roll. Here on Goomba,
all of these look pretty goddamn linear.
And things really get mixed up when the volcano blows its top. Along with 5 new game boards, 2 boards from previous Mario Party games make their return.
Oh, Western Land,
Some
okay.
new games are action-packed challenges.
Wait, that
speed trials, a battle of
that kind of implies that it's like a normal Mario Party game.
By gently shaking or tilting your Joy-Con controllers. With over
I am
110
cautiously
mini-games, there's a wide
optimistic.
variety to enjoy. Also, up to 20 players can go head-to-head online in the Coopathlon mode. Compete against your rivals and aim for first place. Try your best to come out on top.
That seems interesting. It's like the 8-player mode from
Wait, there are even
8?
more new modes? The biggest Mario Party yet will soon be underway when the Super Mario Party Jamboree game launches on the Nintendo
Okay,
Switch
I
system October
really hope
17th.
this is good. It's Mario Party.
That was the latest
Just give me
installment
more
in the Mario
GameCube.
Party series.
That's all I want.
Super Mario Party
Just give me
Jamboree
normal ass boards
with new boards
and give me a lot of them. That's all I want. That's all you have to
multiplayer
do.
Online gameplay and more. Get ready for the biggest Mario
Imagine the
Party
latency in
series
minigames of 8
history.
players.
And
You don't
now,
notice the latency
let's take
if
a
you
look at
are
this.
half paying attention. Wait, what? Is this a Link to the Past remake? No, oh, Oracle games. You jumped there. Nice shot. Or... Wait. No, because Zelda's here. Wait. This is just new. Holy shit, they finally did it. They finally gave you a game where you can play as Zelda.
I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of The Legend of Zelda.
Truly the Super Princess Peach of Zelda titles.
What you just saw was the latest installment, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
I'm glad that they're using the Link's Awakening remake style. It was really
Now,
charming.
It's up to Princess Zelda to step into the protagonist role. You might
When did
be
was it Wand of Gamelon that had Zelda playable? Like
Here,
20 billion
we
years
want to
ago?
create a new gameplay style that breaks conventions seen in past Legend of Zelda games with a top-down perspective. To explain
Yeah,
more,
they know me too.
please take a
I
look
loved
at
the
this video.
soundtrack of that game. I'm really hoping they go for that same sort of almost toy box aesthetic as far as the OST goes.
Stolen away. Across the vast lands of Hyrule, strange rifts have appeared and have taken many people, including Link. Now alone, Zelda meets the fairy Tri, receives a mysterious staff called the Tri-Rod, and sets off on a journey across Hyrule to save her kingdom. By waving the Tri-Rod at a table she found, Zelda learned how to create an imitation of it called an echo. Once you learn an
Echoes?
echo of something, you can recreate it
Fire Emblem
whenever you
echoes?
like. Even if there's
Scars
a
of
wall
Juke Drawl?
blocking your path, you can create echoes of tables to get a leg up. Just like that.
Yeah, that seems like it would be pretty
You can
interesting for
create
puzzle
wooden
solving.
boxes, old beds, and unusual things like water blocks. How you use them separately or together is entirely up to you. Learn and create echoes of things you find while exploring.
I mean, yeah, you could
Hyrule.
also play as Zelda and
You might be surprised at what you
Zelda,
discover.
the Zelda Musa, Hyrule Warriors. I couldn't remember the name. That's nice.
Even battles will look different. You could pick up and throw
I hope
a
this is
rocket
like
bow,
a
for example.
not a phoned-in title.
That's not all, though. You can also create echoes of monsters. After doing so, they'll fight by your side. Monsters
that's
have
actually kinda
different
neat.
abilities, so choose the one you want to create based on the situation.
That's actually
Wisdom
super neat. It
is
reminds me of
key
the
after all.
Phantoms. You know what? This is, now that I think about it, this seems to kind of have the same sort of appeal as the building mechanic in Tears of the Kingdom.
Zelda's hands.
So, like, it's classic Zelda, but with
How was that?
some of the modern
I hope you
puzzle
enjoyed
solving.
This demonstration of the echo ability, which channels
I think it's a
Princess
good-
Zelda's wisdom.
I think it's a good marriage between the two.
Lot of echoes in this game. To be honest, I haven't counted them all yet. How you solve puzzles and battle enemies will change depending on the echoes used. In short, we've created a game where each player's experience will be different.
Yeah, you know what? This has the same sort of non-linearity puzzle solving that you'd find in Tears of the Kingdom. This is really cool. It's a cool thing to implement in 2D Zelda.
Light system inspired by the Legend of Zelda series
Okay,
will
look.
also be available
That's
at launch.
cool,
We hope you're looking forward to playing
but how
as
much
Zelda
life does
in
the
this
Switch
new adventure.
have exactly?
Now, I'd like to return this moment I'd stolen away back to Mr. Takahashi.
Thank you, Mr. Aonuma.
Is the Switch Lite? I mean,
Please look forward to the newest entry in the
Hey,
Legend of Zelda
it'd be
series.
a good gift for some. Yeah, well, actually, no, because anyone who'd be just, like crazy into Tears of the Kingdom probably already has a Switch.
Let loose and party on.
Dancer? Fire Emblem Dancer? Oh yeah, it's Juke Draw time. It's Juke Draw time. Ah, blah blah. This is just a series. It may not be for me, but dude I lived with was crazy into this game, and to his credit, like he treated it as his workout. He got really good at it. This isn't something that I considered someone able to be good at, but nah, he got very good at it, and to his credit, he lost a lot of weight doing it, so I guess, hey, this is popular and people like it. Good for them. Hopefully it's not like Ubisoft predatory practices. Whatever.
A new LEGO adventure is on the horizon.
Why are you gonna have like a
It's the
Funko
world
Pop
of
game
Horizon
in the same
in
direct
LEGO
as
form.
just better Funko
Join
Pops?
Machine Hunter Aloy on a quest to save the world from an ancient evil. Journey through lush landscapes. Dive deep into the cauldrons. Climb up onto tall necks. and traverse other locations inspired by the original game. But be careful.
Like, all this does is make me realize, damn, that Funko Pop game looked
Use an array
like
of gadgets
negatively
like
charming.
flashlights and gravity bombs to hunt them down. From the nimble watchers
Aloy, you mean the Genshin character?
to mighty sawtooths.
I gotta wonder how the fuck that happened.
Fearsome Thunderjaw.
I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess, but
As you progress,
boy, that seems like an
you can
odd
help Aloy
crossover.
build her home. And
Won't just be more popular than the actual Horizon? I mean, it's a Lego property, so there's always a chance that it sells like a billion by default.
In two-player local or online co-op.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Sony probably just played.
Lego Horizon Adventures launches
I mean,
on Nintendo Switch
the character
this
would have to
holiday.
be a woman that could be abstracted to an anime archetype, and I guess it works for Aloy.
Stray's journey begins.
Where's my doggy wog? Where's my skunky little boy? Oh, okay, you went to dog jail. That's fine. That's fine. The cat game. Okay, we've been live for 44 minutes. There's 10 minutes left in this direct. If they don't talk, if they aren't talking about Pokemon ZA, I think there's still a chance. A Fire Emblem remake. Remember, Fire Emblem now prints money, except for Engage, but the animation was good, and Heroes still prints money, so, you know, they could that. I feel like you could have Fire Emblem, you know, wrap up a show. Maybe.
Careful though, not everyone is excited to have you slinking around, including.
They only do that in Poke. Oh, okay, so they only do it in Pokemon Directs.
Keep exploring to venture into more areas of this.
Okay, all right. Copium, Dream's still alive.
Back to safety.
Only they'd print more Cypher cards.
Stray finds its way
Look, I
into
wish Heroes is in a
Nintendo
different
Switch
state than it
this
was,
holiday.
mechanically speaking, but like, it's not like we played Cypher.
Welcome home, Hobbit.
I appreciated the art a lot more, just because the nature of a TCG means that the illustrations you can provide aren't as, it's like cookie cutter. Not like a bad way, but you have more freedom in what you depict rather than, you know, neutral, two variants of attacking and damaged.
And settle into life in the Shire. As a
It's not like
newcomer
people
to
had a lot of
the
chances.
Legend
Yeah,
of the
I know, but
Bible,
like,
you'll be
I do not think in modern day
to solve problems,
many new TCGs can survive and thrive.
explore, garden, fish.
Like,
forage,
maybe they
and
could.
cook.
Honestly, one thing I would have
The best way to
loved
build a
to see
Hobbit community
is
by hosting a dinner party
if you
with
want
your
to bring a
homemade
lot of value to
dishes.
Heroes,
Plus, you can
just
trade
turn
with
Heroes
your
into
unique
like
decorations or special
add a mode to Heroes
ingredients
where it's
for
just
even
a
tasty
digital version
dishes.
of Cypher. There you go, boom
Friendly
bam.
hobbits and familiar faces await your arrival when Tales of the Shire launches on the Nintendo Switch system this holiday.
I can now appreciate that game. I've seen Lord of the Rings now after 20 years.
Investigate, interrogate, checkmate.
Wait, Miles Edgeworth? Correlation? Is this a correlation
Ace Attorney
reference?
Spin-off games, including a sequel that was previously unreleased outside of Japan, are coming.
Yeah,
to
Ryan,
Nintendo
that's
Switch
One
as
Piece. You can
one
put One Piece on
collection.
anything and it'll sell.
As the prolific prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, take the case
Also, aren't
out of the
these games
courtroom
like
and
terrible?
investigate crime scenes.
I have heard nothing good about the Miles Edgeworth series other than a couple of quirky lines.
Then use the power of logic to solve challenging cases. Enjoy all new hand-drawn character visuals from the original series character designer, or swap to the original sprites for a more classic look. Take a break from
Yeah,
the
I mean,
investigation to explore
it
the
looks
gallery,
nice.
where you'll find character
I
art,
like the Ace
music,
Attorney
including
games.
orchestral arrangements.
I
and
just,
more. Past and present
have not heard good
collide as
things
you
about
uncover
this
the truth
particular brand of spin-off.
at any cost. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection launches on
Look,
Nintendo
I'm
Switch
speaking
September
hearsay,
6th.
alright? I'm
Pre-orders
not
begin
speaking my
later
own
today
experiences.
on
I never got to
Nintendo
play the
eShop.
Miles Edgeworth spin-offs. Whoa, is this Danganronpa?
いつもの街、いつもの光景、毎日それが続く。なんだよ、これ、なんなんだよ。
Yeah, this looks like it's Danganronpa's time. Maybe? I mean, certainly the same artist.
Unknown assailants.
No, maybe they do more than one thing.
Gets turned upside down. a mysterious school mascot suddenly appears. While Takumi manages to get out of harm's way, he's then
yeah,
forced
nope,
to
it's
enroll
Danganronpa,
at the Last
all
Defense
right.
Academy, along with 15 other students. Their mission is to defend the school from hostile student enemies for 100 days. An academy shrouded in
Danganronpa
secrecy.
strategy RPG? I don't know.
And the
This is a series that I completely
unavoidable
missed out on.
Can Takumi survive this 100-day trial, colored by extreme and despair, and return to his normal life? The creators of Danganronpa present the 100-line Last Defense Academy.
Oh, this isn't
launching on
Danganronpa. Excuse
Nintendo
me,
Switch
it's
early next
something
year.
else entirely. Whatever. I'm sure the audience will like
A
that.
saga spanning generations. A full
You know what
remake of
else is a
Romancing
saga
2
spanning
is launching
generation?
on Nintendo Switch.
This is
Rule and
apparently a
expand
relatively
the
popular
brand
series.
across multiple
Fun fact,
generations, while challenging the
God,
legendary
why am I
7
forgetting her
heroes
name?
who have turned to darkness.
The artist that did Legendary Sigurd, the Resplendent Ira, Resplendent Eldigan, the person that we think is probably on deck to do an FE4 remake, contributes a fair amount to, I want to say, the gacha game for this series. Rika Suzuki, thank you. That is the only reason I know about this. She oftentimes retweets her work for the mobile title. Very pretty.
Also help with strategy. How will you expand your empire? And in which order will you fight the 7 heroes?
Sure.
Every decision you make will dramatically alter the course of the story.
Here's the thing. Even if I don't think I'm going to play a title, I at least get a soundtrack.
Otherwise, the
OST,
7 heroes
probably
may
good.
emerge victorious.
FE Remake is never coming, stop. Look, here's the thing. I don't think FE4 is a great game. I would like it to be a game that lives up to the influence it's had on the rest of the series as far as gameplay
You're
goes.
excited to experience the full remake of Romancing Saga
FE7 Remake, I don't want that because
That's
modern
all
IS,
for
I feel like
today's
would...
Nintendo Direct.
A bad FE7 Remake is the only thing that would
Our last announcement.
probably... Oh, okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up for a second. Please no. Please don't ruin my life. It's over! I can't believe Samus Aran killed Sigurd. Oh, are they gonna do the thing? And into the back of her skull. Hell yeah. All right. I enjoyed the Prime series. I'm not a diehard about it, but I played it in a weird order where I played Corruption on the Wii and then I went back to play the ones that were released earlier. I think it's a fine enough game. We get a date? Is there a date? Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We might not get a date, but we have a subtitle. Listen, I know they said this is the last title, and Metroid Prime 4 is considerably more impressive than, you know... Oh my god, it... Silk Song never, Metroid Prime 4... Maybe eventually.
That was a first look at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yeah, no.
After a very long time, we are finally able
I mean,
to share more
honestly,
information about this title.
That's fine.
Release is planned for 2025.
I'm gonna be honest, I think this is more important than a hypothetical FE4 remake.
Samus Aran's
This game was revealed, what, like 10 years ago?
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Okay, yeah. No jump scare, womp womp. Thank you, Nightbot. Thanks for watching. FE4 never! That's fine, I'm fine. I don't love FE4, but I'd like to have FE4 be a game that plays as well as it is regarded by the franchise. Payout prediction. Congratulations, doubters. You get your invisible channel points. There you go. FE4 remake happening. Literally never. Complete prediction. Yeah, you know what? We should remake Marth's Tale again. Hey chat, name my Koran. I don't feel like doing it. Nocturne Seraph Semi-Bold. Not about no FE at all, though. It's weird. I'm kind of relieved that there's not an FE here. I don't know if it's like a normal thing to feel. I feel like Fire Emblem's in a weird place right now, where mechanically it kind of seems to not have a super great grasp on forward momentum the same way they did like during the 3DS era. Now, granted, that was only like an Awakening to Fates sort of deal where they had one gameplay paradigm and they like directly iterated on it. Since then, it's been a lot of... how do I put this? They've been pulling gameplay styles from Echoes and then Three Houses that kind of forget lessons learned in previous games. I'm not discounting all of the forward momentum that they've made in other aspects of gameplay, but as far as like the grid-based combat system, weapons, classes, skills, and all that, I do feel like FE's in a not a bad place. I don't think it's a great place iterating on the... I think they've taken a little too much from Echoes and Three Houses mechanically. And I'm not sure a lot of the experiments in Engage pay off as far as like gameplay stylings go. It's a lot of experimentation after Fates, and for what it's worth, that's something I admire about Fire Emblem. Unlike something like Pokemon, Fire Emblem always tries to iterate on its gameplay style, for better or for worse. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's kind of ass, but they don't sit on their laurels as far as how the game's played, and I think that's admirable. Again, even if it doesn't always work out, even if they sometimes walk back problems that they've solved in previous titles, good for them, I guess. Chat, do you think... Okay, here's the deal. Or not, here's the deal. Do you guys think that it would be possible to remake FE4 and FE5 together? Because their game... FE5 is just GBA Fire Emblem. Like, GBA Fire Emblem actually started with FE5. But their gameplay styles are so disparate. But are we assuming that a remake of FE4 would retain the gameplay stylings of FE4? I have no nostalgia for the game. I have no pre-existing love for its gameplay stylings. I would probably be happy to see it redone to be a little more approachable, but like, it is for that reason that I don't think my opinion on an FE4 remake should be taken into account at all. I don't think an FE4 remake mechanically should serve me. I think it should be playable, but I do think it should serve the people that love the game. I think the only way you could do an FE4 and FE5 remake is if you like heavily redid how FE4 plays. Together, like if they're different modes, yeah. See, that's what I would want. For all of the, for lack of a better word, weirdos who want an FE6 and 7 remake, not one title. No interplay. Just two games. Just two games, like the Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD collection. That's all I'd want. Because the thing is, FE4 has the pedigree to be remade. FE4 has influenced pretty much every game that's come after it to some degree. Its DNA... FE6 has a lot of Arcanea DNA. FE7, there are some aspects of FE4 that are pulled forward in a regard. I guess FE8 really doesn't. Actually, 9 and 10 really don't. Well... Maybe Radiant Dawn has a little bit of FE4's DNA. Certainly 3 Houses and Engage have a lot of FE4's DNA over them. All over them. I mean, Edelgard is just Fem Arvis. Crests are basically Holy Blood. Engage decided to go back and steal FE4's weapon rank mechanic, and I'd argue for the better. It is a game that I respect. It's not a game that I like. And I'm hoping I can both like and respect it in a remake, but that would probably involve changing the gameplay stylings a lot. 6 and 7 would be easier than 4 and 5. The problem with both pairs is in 6 and 7 and 4 and 5, there is one game that is infinitely more popular. People... Okay, hang on. No, that's going to be mean. I'm going to be mean. People care about FE6 because Roy is in Smash Bros. And that it is the most difficult of a GBA trio for people who like that gameplay styling. FE7 is the game people have nostalgia for. FE7 is the game that people on a larger scale like more. It is probably the game that you would use to sell an attached FE6 remake. Same with FE4 and FE5. I think FE5 is a way better game. FE5 is like just an asshole, but it's a good game. It's just very mean. But like, even if you're I think Heroes is a good metric for this because it kind of shows how marketable each individual title is. Between 4 and 5, yeah, FE4 is kind of kept in its own little glass box of like, we must respect this title. No goofy alts. Also kind of little representation, but it seems to be pretty held in high regard in modern day. Whereas Thracia is kind of in the doesn't exist box. So I feel like pairing them together, if you ever get a Thracia remake, I feel like the best chance you get is to somehow bundle it with FE4. FE4 isn't fun to play, and they'd have to fix that. Even people who love FE4, they like it for its like very unique gameplay stylings in terms of like item system and whatnot, but even people I know that like FE4 do admit that it's a slog to play through and it's an unbalanced mess. And like, hey, maybe that's the point. But I would argue that modern Fire Emblem had it correct in moving away from Kaga-style character balance, where some characters are just basically irredeemable dog shit, and like there is a certain class of unit that reigns supreme above all. Move Simulator is shit. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't like Horse Emblem. As someone who is born and raised on what is effectively Horse Emblem, I like that future Fire Emblem games have tried to bridge the gap between mounted and unmounted, story important and non-story important characters as far as their gameplay effectiveness goes, I suppose. And like FE4, honestly, I think FE4 through 6, the imbalance was intended. I think the imbalance in FE7 was just a case of not thinking about the enemy composition and not giving certain types of units that use certain types of weapons that have, let's call it, certain appearances, rights. But like, I don't think that was intentional. I don't think they intended to make like Nino dog shit, for example. I don't think they intended to make Rebecca dog shit. I think they just didn't think there. If they want FE4, 5, and 6 banners to sell on Heroes, they need to at least translate them so people know who the characters that aren't on the box are. I do wonder how much shelf life Heroes has. And I say this as someone who has been just looking at Heroes on their phone stand, just running passively. I don't want Heroes to end. Even if I'm not really satisfied with its current gameplay, like, stylings, I think if Heroes did not exist, it would be so much harder to have, like, topical reason to talk about non-current Fire Emblem games. Without Heroes, it would basically just be engage in Three Houses discourse in like Fire Emblem communities. And neither game really excites me as far as like conversation goes. I love that I could talk about FE7 and like occasionally it's relevant, maybe twice a year. Day Pass seems to be carrying the game. I'd say it'll last a lot of years. I think it will continue to make money and be profitable for the foreseeable future, even if its revenue will be going down. From my understanding of what is required for the implementation of new unit skills banners, it does not take a lot of inputs to get the steady output that we have. I have to wonder how high they can push it without shaking it up. I'm of a mind that you can solve any problem if you just drop Dalamud. And you know what? Heroes has that shit baked in. We have Ragnarok. You have the in-story hard reset that would kill your player base and tank your game, and you shouldn't do it, even if I'm dissatisfied with the gameplay stylings. How about that new seal skills name? Oh, you mean Mr. Beast? The Mr. Beast skill, of course. Hey, despite its flaws, is why FE is still going strong. I want Heroes to exist passively, so if a mainline Fire Emblem game bombs, it's not like... I do not ever want to be in a situation where they remake, like, FE1, and they make it ugly as sin, and no one buys it, and then FE is, like, on life support, ready to be canned forever. I never want that. Never want that shit again. So you know what? I don't like Gulvig. I don't like Heroes being effectively, like, kind of isekai harem in some of their aspects. But fuck it. It pays the bills. It pays the bills. It appeals to me. All right, I get fed a couple times a year. Actually, no, I get fed every, like, week and a half. Thanks, PM1. I appreciate it. But I get fed, like, culturally a couple times a year. FE11 still sold better than Tellius. Don't release games right next to Mario Galaxy. It's not smart. I mean, in terms of Nintendo, what surprises me is that Heroes make, well, it makes more money than Pokemon Master Sex, but Fire Emblem Heroes is more appealing as a general gacha to someone who's not into the property. All of their other, like, mobile games, in my opinion, do not have appeal outside of the target market for the individual titles. Pocket Camp's not going to be appealing to people who don't like Animal Crossing. Mario Run or Mario Tour won't be, like, interesting to people who don't like 2D Mario or Mario Kart. Even Pokemon Masters isn't super appealing to people who just aren't into Pokemon, but to their credit, I think the anime stylings of Fire Emblem are to Nintendo's benefit in the current landscape of mobile titles. They can sort of masquerade as just a generic anime game and entice people on that alone. Like, I did not like the Yoshikyu Gulveg saga, but as it turns out, putting a bunch of buxom women in, like, super ill-fitting spandex is probably good for people who are just looking to pick up a gacha based on sex appeal. And it pays the bills, like, whatever. Pokemon Masters X is still Pokemon. I'd be surprised if it got end of service. I don't think they'll ever get end of service. Well, no, that's a lie. Eventually, nothing lasts forever. I've played Smite for 10 years. Depending on whether or not Smite 2 does well, which I'm still unsure of. Like, hey, Smite could EOS. Hi-Rez is no stranger to shooting their games in the back of the head. FF14 might EOS. I doubt it because it makes Square Enix consistent money, but eventually Heroes will end of service and I will have to come to grips with it, but I think I kind of have. I hope that Heroes money is being put to good use. Masters has been losing money recently? Really? I did not realize that. Masters is just getting stale? I mean, I think there's only so much upward expansion you can do in a gameplay paradigm, like, candidly speaking. You've seen this in Heroes. I feel like we've had several points in Heroes where we just sort of, like, jumped the shark and soldier on. I think we've done that several times in the last 2 years even. Remember, this direct is focused on games coming out this year. I could absolutely see FE4 being remade and releasing on, like, holiday. Like, I have all ends at 5.5. I'm assuming that's the FE equivalent. That's the Pokemon Masters equivalent of, like, a +10. And hey, you know what? That's how you play a gacha game. Just collect your faves. I will simply make the most yoked Lin army. I will hyper invest in my FE7 characters. I don't care that there's not a good Florino. I will make you acceptable. FE4 remake late 2025. My 2 cents on the FE4 remake is that I think the end of a console's life cycle is probably the best time to do it because you already have an engine built. So you don't need to like Echoes is a fork of a Fates and Awakening engine. Actually, FE4 could run in the Engage engine. I think Engage runs pretty well, UI aside. It would be a huge artistic departure, but I mean, Hidari and Kozuki are both magnificent illustrators, but they're not, like, analogous. What Fire Emblem excels at, being there at the death of a console. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be all doomer, like, oh, we didn't get Fire Emblem, it was a bad direct. Dude, like, we got a new Zelda title. The Mario and Luigi series is not dead. We got 3 Dragon Quest remakes in the pocket. Metroid Prime 4 is a thing. This is, in all regards, like a pretty good direct. I'd imagine if I click Twitter here, I'll see, well, 1, I'll see a lot of cat pictures. But 2, I'll probably see people speaking highly of the direct, right? It's like, Mario and Luigi, hell yeah. Metroid 4, hell yeah. Oh, a lot of Saga, actually. You know what? Hey, race car, at least you get more use out of Clown Selef. I don't want Fire Emblem to become super annoying. I don't want our community to become obnoxious every time someone else gets fed. You're like, okay, but where's the FE4 remake? FE4 is not that good of a game. It's not. I respect it. I don't like it. We'll get fed. All right, Fire Emblem is in no fear of death. We will get fed eventually. I'm honestly happy for that Hello Kitty Island adventure. I'm happy. I think there's a market for Sanrio stuff. I might not be that market, but the market's there. I hope FE4 never gets a remake and they remake Fates. Hell yeah! Give me Dual Strike. You know what? Here's how we can make FE4 a better game. Pair up and Dual Strike. Oh no. How do we bridge the movement gap? Pair up. Pair up. That's how you fix FE4. You just had pair up. Okay, well, honestly, there's not too much more I can gab about. I mean, it's Nintendo Direct. I appreciate the opportunity to stream and not have it just be playing Fire Emblem. Sometimes it's just nice to shoot the shit with you guys. But yeah, no, we'll be back today in about 5 hours or so for more correlations. We're gonna get through that goddamn boat map, man. I'm not failing this again. I have underestimated it. First time, I got jump scared. Second time, I got overwhelmed. This time, I'm just gonna tonic up. We're gonna make it through. We're not a one map Andy again. No siree. Third time's a charm. I'll see you in 5 hours. Thanks for chilling with me. I love these sorts of things. I'll see you soon. Yeah. Goodbye.